Hello rock and metal fans, welcome to Iridium Rock and Metal Reviews, and today I'm going to do another one in the series of ranking the album tracks. Been a little while since I've done that, so I really enjoyed doing it, so I thought I'd get back to it. And this is another request that came in, so apart from the first one I did, all the others have been recommendations by subscribers, so this one as well, and it's Metallica Ride the Lightning. So as everyone knows who subscribes to this channel, we usually cover lots of melodic stuff. As long as it's got melody, I'll cover most of it. So, and this is no exception really, although it's basically a fresh album, has plenty of melody in it, and it's one of my favourite Metallica albums, probably bar one other. And I've got the dog here with me, so I'm going to have to just hold him up here a second. Everybody, meet Dio. So this is Dio, my lovely puppy. All right, and he ain't going to sit still, so I'm going to have to put him down and get back to my video later. So there you go. Yes, I love you too. I love you too. And he's lovely. Look, he's lovely. He's very lovely. Yes, he's a lovely little boy. He's a lovely little boy. Yes, he is. So as I'm babysitting, I'm going to try and do the video. So here we go. So Ride the Lightning. Like I said, love the album. Loved it when it came out. It's probably not quite my favourite Metallica album. I'd say it's my second favourite. So I will get round to doing my favourite, ranking the tracks. So this came out July 27th, 1984. So this came out on Mega Force Records. Produced by Flemming Rasmussen. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. I think he had a lot of involvement in a lot of thrash stuff back then. Album cover was absolutely great. The electric chair, he being hit by lightning, loved it. And like I said, this is a thrash album, but what this did, this matured a lot from their first album, Kill 'Em All. Definitely had more structure to the songs, more melody, sounded more epic. And I think that was due to Cliff Burton having more input into the songwriting. So, I mean, if it was, he'd done an awful lot. Right, get down now. So, so this had like acoustic guitars in it, extended instrumentals, more epic feel, and Hetfield's voice as well improved a lot from the first album. I wasn't a big fan of the first album, I know a lot of people are. So this, in the lineup was James Hetfield, Kirk Hammett, Cliff Burton, and Lars Ulrich. Lars Ulrich, obviously. So, like I said, this had a more epic feel to it, more melody. This is considered by a lot of Metallica fans as their best album. And I can see where they're coming from. It's a very close second for me. So ranking the tracks, this is interesting. So only 8 tracks to rank in total. So not a lot of tracks, although some of them quite long. As like I said, it's an epic album. So coming in at number 8, Trapped Under Ice. So for me, not a great song. When they did thrash songs, they did a lot better than this. It's heavy as fuck, but at the same time, it just doesn't particularly grab me in any way whatsoever. Melodically, even the heaviness, they do that a lot better throughout the whole album. Although it's still heavy, they do a lot better with when they really hit you hard on the rest of the album. Musically, technically, very cool, but as a song, not for me. That's my number 8, Trapped Under Ice. My number 7, Escape. So this is probably a lot of fans' least favourite song on the album. Now, I can understand where they're coming from. Especially at the time, the chorus is very melodic, but maybe not in a more obvious way. You know, Metallica could be really melodic on this album, but in a less obvious way. This sounded like an attempt, if you like, to hit mark, even though it wasn't a single, I don't think. It's like they were attempting to do a hit, if you know what I mean. But the worst thing about this song, I think, is that the verses are quite good. And the chorus ain't that bad, but they don't fit together. It just doesn't sound like a cohesive song, and that's why it's scored so low on my ranking. My favourite part is actually about the 2.5 minute mark, where the chorus gets where the song, gets very doomy, the chords, and Hetfield does a real deep growl in his voice. Love that part of it. So number 7 is Escape. My number 6, Ride the Lightning. I know this will score quite high in a lot of fans' lists, Ride the Lightning. So I do like it. I like the beginning. This ain't a bad song. This is a lot of other songs I like better on the album. So I like the stomping beginning with the drums and the really cool guitar melody. Then when it goes into the thrashy guitar, I love that part as well. The rumbling bass. Oh man, the bass guitar in this one is superb. A really catchy chorus. But my favourite part is about 2 minutes 50. The solo the rhythm for the solo slows down, and this is a brilliant guitar solo. It goes on for about 2 minutes. One of the best guitar solos on the album, actually. But it just didn't grab me as much as the rest of the album. So Ride the Lightning comes in at number 6. My number 5, The Call of Cthulhu. So anyone who knows me knows I'm not a huge fan of instrumental songs, but Metallica back then, they got it completely right with this one. 9 minutes of pure brilliance, this song. I love the cool progressions going through the song. I love the horror type, reminds me of a horror film I listen to it. Clean guitar at the beginning, so cool when it goes into the actual song, so heavy. Guitar sound is superb on this song. You can sort of hear this more than most of the songs. I think because it's an instrumental, the guitar the guitar tone really picks up brilliantly, and ends yet again with a clean guitar sound. Epic song, absolutely epic. And like I said, instrumentals ain't usually my thing, but what a great one this is. What a brilliant song. Call of Cthulhu comes in at number 5. My number 4, opening track, Fight Fire with Fire. This might sort of surprise a few people with me, because I usually go for the more melodic stuff, but I think this is a great opening track. I mean, beautiful acoustic beginning, and then a menacing riff that comes in. Almost scared the shit out of me when I was younger, this riff. It's a relentless song. Great opening song. I love how the song comes back in after the solo, and you've got Lars doing that fast drumming, and then it comes back into them riffs again. Absolutely mental song. Mental riffs, mental song. Fight Fire with Fire is an amazing song. My number 3, For Whom the Bell Tolls. And I used to actually cover this in a band I used to be in when I was younger, so this brings back a lot of memories as well. A brilliant song, and this just shows you that when you slow songs down, and this is almost a slow to medium pace song, songs get even heavier than fast songs, in my opinion. They bring out more heaviness when you slow songs down. Cool bass, the bass solo, if you like, at the beginning is just amazing by Cliff Burton. This is like a more doomy song. I love this song, man. The bell tolling at the beginning, so cool, brings on that more atmospheric feel again, and the epic feel. I love it when that chugging riff comes in at the beginning, the bass is doing, then the guitars coming ding 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 ding. I think you know what I mean. No guitar solo as such in this. Oh, here comes the doggy again. Yeah, no guitar solo as such in this, but really cool guitar licks going through the song. You know, little bits of solos on the ends of choruses and on the end of verses. It's a really cool song. For Whom the Bell Tolls is number 3. Right, my number 2. This is what happens when you have to babysit. Right, my number 2. Creeping Death. What an amazing song. Real epic and heavy again. Relentless, but so melodic at the same time. When they play this live, I just wish they'd slow it down a bit. I've heard some version of this when they play it live, and they do it too fast and it loses the heaviness, in my opinion. But this song, as it is on the album, is perfect. It's such a catchy song, but so heavy at the same time. You know, that chorus. I mean, you can't get much of a heavier song than this, but the chorus is so catchy at the same time. It just shows you how brilliantly their songwriting captured the melody and the heaviness. Not easy to do. not easy to do whatsoever. Which leaves my number one, if you haven't worked out already, is Fade to Black. Now, some people consider this as a ballad or even a power ballad, as my friends on Striper Drive would say. But and I suppose for Metallica at the time, you could argue that fact. That's probably why I've chosen it for my number one. I really think this is brilliant. The melody all over this song, epic, sad. We said epic a lot during this, which this album basically is. Even sad at times, this song, definitely sad lyrically, and even the feeling of it. This song has influenced, I think, so many other artists to do this type of song through the years, but not many have pulled it off like Metallica did with this. I love this side of classic Metallica, it's brilliant. The acoustic guitar at the 1 minute mark, when it actually goes into the song proper, it just like blows me away. The heaviest part on this whole album, I think, is this song, even though it's the ballad, if you like. When it comes in, when the guitar chords come in for the chorus, I think it's the heaviest part of the whole album. And that just proves to you that when you slow it down, it becomes heavier. My favourite part, though, is at the 3 minutes 50 mark, when the song changes up for the last part of it. Nippy little shitty dog. But brilliant solo again. Absolutely amazing. My favourite part of the album, Fade to Black. My favourite track of the album, Fade to Black. My number one. I'm not going to put any little snippets of songs on this because I think Metallica or YouTube will rip it apart and it'll be taken down. It probably will be with Metallica. But you all know the album inside and out, I hope. If you haven't, and you might, if by any chance you're a metal fan who hasn't heard this album, get it now. Absolutely amazing. See you next time. Thank you very much.